Testing 1, 2. We probably need to drop music more. Which one is that coming from? Right there. Got it. Okay. I think I'm good. I don't know how fast we're going here. Alright. You got me, Vision? You got me? Okay. I hit go live on everything because I had it all set up and I figured if this is a stress test stream, let's see how stressful we can make it. I don't think it actually made its way to the YouTube Shorts. Maybe? Because I did pull it up on my phone to see. And I don't know if it's supposed to be... Yo, what's up, Ranger? Hey, Knight, how you doing, man? I'm not as familiar with YouTube Shorts to understand if I'm actually live over on that side of YouTube. I don't think I am, to be fair. Doing good yourself? Hey, man, we're big chillin', big chillin'. We got tier 3 this week, Knight. You excited for that? Yeah, I don't think I'm live on Shorts, Vision. I don't know how to properly check that. I should probably ask Mizor if he's around. Let me see if he's on. Mizor. Question, sir. I don't think I am. I think we got that messed up. What if that's something that I can just toggle right on? What if I hit that button? Probably a bad thing that I just hit that button. We're about to find out if that actually works how I think that works. Give me a second on that could go horribly wrong, what I just did. And we could be having lots of problems here pretty soon. But let me see. This is more of a testing thing here, just to see. What you streaming tonight? This is more of a testing stream tonight. I have just kind of some deeds lined up for my lore master, so very chill, very casual something. Primarily because we switched over our recording software off of OBS and into something called Meld Studio. Definitely, I was using Streamlabs OBS to be fair, and so because of that, I think it was pulling a lot of resources, so I needed to probably swap off of it. But you know, it's like one of the things where I wanted to do a stress test prior to a raid night, because raid night is where we big chill, right? We love raid night. So we went live on Twitch, YouTube, Kick for the very first time right now, and also allegedly YouTube Shorts. I don't think YouTube Shorts is actually working right now. Can you check? Now better for YouTube streaming or something? It's better for multi-streaming. That's primarily what it is. So if you go over and you're using Streamlabs OBS Night, they have like a paywall where like they have like their Streamlabs Ultimate plan, and that's what allows you to stream to multiple platforms. We've been streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the same time, but we've had the portrait version streamed to YouTube. And so I wanted to try bringing the landscape version over to YouTube, but you can't do that with Streamlabs OBS unless you're paying monthly to them. So I wanted to try to bring that experience over while also keeping the portrait for those that were on mobile. Um, and for kicks and grins, pun intended, I guess. I went live over on Kick as well to see how that would go. So it's only linking the full screen. Okay, that is something that I probably need to do more work into. I'm not as familiar with how to go live on both, which I'm sure prevents it prevents shorts. So Mr. Mizor cannot catch me while streaming. Um, so I'm sure that's a problem, but I'll have to figure that out. At the moment, though, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, we'll have a whole nother thing going on. That's not even showing up, it looks like, which is crazy. Let's see. I'm going to test a couple more things, too, before we jump into the game. I'm hoping that that's working. Okay, that looks like it's working. That's cool. And then, obviously, we have our Twitch one. Boom. That gets over real quick. No big deal. And then this is the Kick one. Test. That one isn't even coming through, which is strange. But we shall see if I even want to add that in. Is that because I have, let me look at the chat here real quick. Let me see. Wonder if that's something I need to enable for the Kick chat to come through. I doubt. It is. But honestly, I think we'll leave Kick chat off for now until I have some filtering going on over there. We'll see what it is that ends up coming up over there while we're live over here to see how that's working. But all of that seems to be okay. I take it as of right now. I mean, I think we're in pretty good shape for the bandwidth, or the bit rate, rather. So I just need to figure out what YouTube Shorts is doing. So, okay. Well, at that point, we will leave. I'll just disable this guy and this guy, because I don't think those are really doing anything. And then I think we'll be okay. We'll just have to see how that's working out. So, okay. And Vision, you said I'm sounding good? I don't know if you are still here or not. Sounds good? Okay. Then we should be good to go then. So, I guess we're over on Kick now too, just like that. That was easy to set up. Might could go a bit higher. I wish I knew how to make it go a bit higher. Because we're at max right now. I can look and see. Yeah, I have no clue. Is it because the mic is too low, or is it because everything else is too high? Mic is low. Okay, well. Do I add gain on this? I guess the gain? No, the gain's not going to do anything, right? I don't know what else could be done. The gain might be bad to even put on here right now. Yeah, I struggle to know what it is. Gain may work. So if I put it up to... Oh god. I can't tell if this is louder or not. It is? Okay. Is this better from that? I bumped it from 100 to 200. So we doubled it, I guess? I don't know. I don't think that's how that's exactly works. I don't know. We'll have to see. Test your keyboard? I bet you it picks up all of that shit. I bet you it's picking up all of that. It does go back? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now we're back to 100. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. I'll have to look into it and see what I can do further about it. Let me swap it over to the live scene here. Okay. I'm hoping that this is just gonna turn into a normal, like, passive stream, though. Like, I know that the net could kind of do its shit whenever it wants to, and that just is what it is. But my fear is that adding multiple platforms starts to cause problems. And so doing something like very low key right now like this is what I'm trying to iron out any detail. And I don't really know how to test this outside of just going live, if I'm gonna be quite honest with you. So but we shall see how it all works. How it all works. Mhm. Alright, let's see here. Just taking a look at more stuff here while we're just kind of hanging out. I don't know, the big thing seems to be doing fine for the most part. I was kind of afraid that like I'd hit the go live button and then everything would just like cause problems immediately because of streaming to more than 2 platforms at the same time. So with that in mind, that kind of gets that out of the way. Vision, have you ever made an account over on Kick before? No, but can. Well, I don't have alerts set up over there, I don't think. For obvious reasons, because we just hit the toggle switch. But I was just curious on how that would look like over there. It looks the exact same as Twitch. We're gonna be honest. Is that one up? Yeah. My idea, if I could be quite honest with you, is I kind of want to set it up to where it doesn't exclusively say platform. And we just set it up to where the notification goes off and it just looks the same across the board, regardless of where you are following or subbing in from. That way, it's not like playing favorites and it's not being restricted, right? I think that's probably the best way to handle it. And I might take a look into that a little bit more as well. Because I think that's something we can do. I think that's something we can do. And not only do I think that's something we can do, I think it's probably something I probably should be doing. So... Hello, Mr. Vision. Welcome in. Does it sound any different over there? I highly doubt it, but... I haven't even hardly looked into this at all. On what this side of that looks like. Okay. Perfectly synced in sound? Okay. That's good, at least. I'm assuming YouTube is something similar, so... Hey, Fertile, how you doing, man? Wonder what I can do here. Is there anything else I can do on my side of things? Gonna let them respawn real fast. Moved from LOTRO to another game that I'm trying to get partnered with. What game did you move over to there, Fertile? With Minecraft. Nice. We used to stream lots of Minecraft. We streamed... Hello, me. We streamed a particular server called Windcraft a long time ago. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like an RPG, MMO type of server at the time. But certainly is something that was very fun. It's kind of where we started the channel from, is Minecraft like that. Have you seen my videos? Am I allowed to ask? You're allowed to ask, but I have not seen your videos, unfortunately, sir. I don't have much time to kind of watch a whole lot of content, right? And so a lot of the time it kind of slips through the cracks, kind of watching other people's content. So if you had one that you wanted like feedback on, or if you wanted me to watch specifically, I'd be happy to, brother. Why am I hearing myself again? I got unmuted for no reason. Community roles. Channel moderators. Let me get you over there, Vision. There you are. You should be modded on that side of things there, Vision. Arcade should be 160 tomorrow after missions reset. I am gaming. What's up, Beef? Then what do I do? You get better at the classes you have, good sir. You gotta practice them. You start running dungeons like crazy, like you don't know what you're doing. You're running dungeons for the sake of running them, not for the loot, not for the experience of the weekly, but just to run them. That's what you do. Or you do what this is, and you just need. So you see the mod on kick? Okay, perfect, perfect. Not that that ever matters. I think I'll probably have a close eye on that anyway, if I'm gonna be quite honest. So, because I'm more skeptical about that than Twitch here. But I think technically I can just click on anybody here. Yeah, let's see. I'll have to take a look at the kick side of things. It looks like I can just like do mod powers directly from Meld here. But also I learned that I am under the mid cap for tier 2, so it's why probably yeah, if you're at 330 is what the mid cap is. Yeah. If you go to the LOTRO stat cap wiki, I can link it. LOTRO stats. Right here, good sir. Go there. That is where you can see the stat caps for everything. So at tier 2, the tank mids. Yeah. The tank mid. Well, the specific thing too, to like, it might seem. The part that I never understood is like, why do we need to raise the cap? But if you go into, let's go into caves real quick, and I'll show you the debuff, or rather the buff that they have, is where you see that number. So it's this guy right here, enhancement tier 2. They get 200% more morale from tier 1, 200% more damage, armor rating, and just flat ratings. But then the bottom line down there, target mitigation ratings, that minus 30%. That's why we take it to 330, because mitigation cap is actually 300, but this enhancement from tier 2 is minus 30k. So this goes up to 60k in tier 3, but that's ultimately why you do that. So you have to over mid cap. So when they do hit you on these higher tiers, they hit you for the same amount, right? So, well, same amount is relative. It is something that will ultimately be. Oh man, is he here needing to? I hope not. Did you mod it or not? What do you mean mod? Oh, modded Minecraft? No, I never did. I did a few modded Minecraft stuff, but never on stream. We never did anything too crazy on mods. Modding in Minecraft is much easier now, though. I know that much. So, but the T2Ks and pop consumables to get me at cap. And it's totally fine. Has zero problems with it. Yeah, there's no problem with popping consumables. In fact, I think most people at current time are popping consumables to get to, like, you know, especially tier 3 mids. I don't know if you can get to tier 3 mids, which is 360. I don't think that, I don't think you can get to tier 3 mids without losing something like that, so. Sorry, chat. No, we have a few mods. I think Mizor is one. I know Visions is one. But outside of that, we don't really have too much else. So we're a very small community over here, so I don't never need to worry about needing a ton of moderation, you know. Thank you, Mizor, for being here, good sir. Follow me on X? I sure can, brother. Throw me the link. I'll shoot you a follow. But to be fair, though, I am not on X at all. My account over there has been dormant for like years, and I'd have to go on, like, is it just Fertile Realm like you have it here? If it is, I can get you, brother. No worries. Yeah, let me know the username and I'll go follow it for you. No big deal. Just Fertile. Gotcha. Yeah, after stream I'll look you up and set it up over there. You're good, brother. No need to apologize, brother. You're good. We're big chilling tonight. We're killing lots of dwarves apparently. Because this one is the 300 one, right? 360. Are we serious? Why did they make 360 of this? Doing this without a Slayer D. It's crazy. Leave my people alone? Listen. Alright. How about bees? Can we kill some bees? I actually let Edward kill all the bees this past, when he was doing deeds earlier. I let him kill all the bees. What the hell is that map? A writ of passage? Does this even work still? Selling that on the Yo, Prop with the resub. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. How you doing, man? How you doing? 28 months. Damn. We are old. All of us. Help. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shout out to Prop for sure. Give Prop that shout out. I don't know if what I have going on in my... I'll have to figure out how to way to pump up the mic volume, because even though it's okay right now, it's still unsettling that this is like the peak that it can be at, right? So I need to like figure out a way to get this higher. Think we're all old? Yeah, for sure. You don't come to a Lord of the Rings online stream because you're young. That's not something you do. Wait, is this a blue LM? Yeah, that's a blue LM right there, baby. That is awesome. We will have to mess with it later. Sounds decent right now. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Again, the problem with it more than anything is that I wish I could... wish there was something that could simulate a... Well, I guess I could turn recording on. And I can test audio through recording. So we can figure that part out. The biggest problem I'm going to have to tackle is, until we get it right, the going live on YouTube Shorts. That's going to be the big thing. Because, yeah, that's what it is, right? But as long as nothing damages landscape here, right? Like the Twitch POV. This is what's important. Everything else is secondary. I'm way ahead of my own respawns, I think. Also, this guy that's questing up here probably messed up my respawn rate. Boost it without hearing background noise? What do you mean? Oh, like that's what we should be doing, is what you're saying? Like, even if it is boosting everything else, that would probably be it. Look at this lore breaking hobbit. I don't know what you're talking about, Miley. Okay. This is a lore mastering hobbit, of all things. Thank you very much. How are you doing? How are you doing? Ooh, a map to a Stilton. How nice. Well, I need to be chill. Go be chill, chat, have fun. Hey, Ferdo, appreciate you stopping by, brother. Good to have you here. Good to see you. Miley, how is your lore master coming along? I saw you've been leveling it. Is it, you on it right now? No. I'm gonna be a stalker and find out what level it is myself. Oh. 157. Almost a 160. Let's go. Let's go. That's about the gist of it. I was leveling it? Yeah. I have done no... We're in red while we deed because I understand the basics of red and I know that it does more damage. But I have been loving blue a heck of a lot more. Almost to the point where I'm about to just say screw it and also make a guide video on it just to make sure that there are more blue lore masters. Let's go. Funk said he was pumping tonight. I guess they already got done with their raid. Yep, they did. They got done with that quick. Last time I played regularly, blue wasn't really a thing, so that would be helpful. It's really just a matter of homework, is what I call it. It's like the homework class. So like I'll switch to it while we're doing deeds. Like you got Edward out here. He's primary DPS. He goes in, he just smacks things. He does too much damage all by himself. 44k on the one auto attack. Hey, Wildcat. It's going quite well. How about yourself? And so then you hit his skills like off cooldown too. There's no real punishment for not because it gives you Inspire and it also gives you 2 arms. So that's kind of cool. Dinner's ready? Okay, I'll come grab it in a second here. We'll do one lap. And then lastly, you hit this Retribution skill here and you hit these like sigils because then it buffs them. So like the lightning one does 5% critical chance. And then the fire one increases his outgoing damage by 75%. And then he just hits hard. Like, he just goes. He hit him for 240k. So, the blue LM is a lot of fun. I like that it just is like... It's just like the red LM equivalent. He is killing it. He is absolutely... He kills it so much, so one thing that, like, you can't set your pet to aggressive anymore. But I went to, like, the Harad areas. You'll find this very useful, Miley. I went to the Harad areas, and while I was just kind of AFK, I would let him just kill things. He would just be the one to kill things 100%. So I was just AFK, and he would just like, and I would stand in a group of mobs that I know would respawn, and he would just kill them as they respawn. He was spawn camped like a cluster of mobs. But it's just a bunch of homework. You just kind of keep your sigils up, hit your skills off cooldown with the pet, and then outside of that, it's just a bunch of red stuff. So like the tree goes very deep into red to get like lightning storm and searing embers and all this other stuff, right? So, but also, what's up, City Tiger? How you doing, man? And the damage too is crazy. Like, I know it's a single target focus build, but when I'm sitting there at the training dummy, it is doing insane. Like my peak, I haven't done it in a few weeks, I need to, but my peak right now, unbuffed, was 162k for a 3-minute training dummy parse. And like, that's really high for what you're bringing this class for, right? And it makes a good argument to bring this over like a red captain, for the sense of you're getting a lot more damage out of them. At least I think you will be. But a lot of the damage comes from the pet, so if it's a fight that kills the pet frequently, it might not be as beneficial. But that is to be determined. I haven't necessarily brought this character on like a tier 2 yet of the raid to tell if it will be a good like class to bring. I doubt it. I think you'll still always bring the red captain because you'll still have your priority targets. But I think it is a great competitor to it. And like, so like if you brought a blue lore master, I don't think you're losing a whole lot. Versus like, it's not like a suboptimal like offensive support. So helping Mama Panic negotiate through the Battle of Paranor Fields. If you haven't done Palinor Fields before, it does take some time to get used to the change up that they have in there. So that's good that she's doing that content though. That's pretty awesome. All right, one sec, chat. I'm gonna go grab that food, and then we'll be back in like 30 seconds here. All right, good. Also, I really like the thematic of having the lore master has a pet. Like, summoning the pet from time to time on red is okay, but I really like having the pet out at all times as a lore master, just because I'm old, and that's how it used to be. So, very holding on to the past of me, I know, but the LM pet is actually useful on like the Cappy pet. I don't know if there'll ever be a time where the Captain pet will be useful though. Like the Lore Master's blue set is built around it being like all in on the pet. Like you are the Beast Master type of like character, right? I don't know if the pet on the banner on the captain will ever reach a point where it is relevant because I don't think it fits well. I don't think it does. Because in order for you to balance that appropriately, you would then have to proceed with uh, nerfing the captain's damage in that line more. And I don't think that fits thematically because as the captain, you're supposed to be this kind of strongish leader type. And even though you are not dealing the most damage like a champion would, right, you are encouraging and directing the battle as you see fit. I don't think you'd ever see that. That doesn't work thematically on a banner guard level because the captain is strictly there to encourage and buff the fellowship members, right? Not the bannerman. Maybe if it was leaning more of a single player game at the start of the game, that might have been the case, but whereas the lore master was never intended to be this like offensive support type character, it was always meant to be, you know, the defensive support, maybe a little bit of damage character. And as it currently sits, the offensive support role, I think works well with the Beastmaster just because you have a variety of different pets that you can use. But at the end of the day, on a captain, the banner guard is just a banner guard. Like you have the same banner guard regardless of which banner they're holding. You know, so it's not going to be something that is entirely crazy. You know, they're not like a superhuman banner guard. My immediate thought process is in Dungeons and Dragons there is a card that you can pull more than 3k DPS. Yeah, that would be hopeful. I don't know how that would work out though. You know, I don't know what their opinions of it on the balance of that. But my immediate thought process vision is there is a card in Dungeons and Dragons. There's a card that you can pull from the deck of many things that summons a level 4 fighter to your side. And that guy is always level 4. He is completely under your control, but he's basically your squire, your banner guard, if you would. And in D&D, that's kind of the same way. So like you could be a level whatever 16, 17 character and have a level 4 banner guard. That guy's never moving. He is your pet in that sense, in the same way that the banner guard is the captain's pet, right? So I don't know, hard to that's the mentality I think of, is I put those guys in the same box, you know. So that would be an interesting discussion, that of all the questions that they could be asked in one of their streams, that would be one that I would genuinely want to hear their opinions on, the captain, because it is one that, you know, the lore master, that is a great discussion, and I think it's something that I'd like to hear their opinions of it from like the class design perspective, to see, you know, we see how it works in blue lore master. Blue lore master essentially fulfills that same role that the red captain does now. Do they ever have anticipation to, you know, buff that banner guard to even half of what the Lynx is kind of doing, or something of that nature, or expand on their capabilities at all? You know, like that would be an interesting thing to see. So, yeah, what's up, Zero Cool? How you doing, man? That would be something that I think I would like. Of course, I obviously want, you know, more for the captain players, but also the captains can use any of their 3 lines right now in content. So, did captain ever get a class overhaul? I don't know if they've ever gotten a class overhaul. I know that they, like, the sense that the lore master and the lore master had gotten. I know that they have gotten many changes over the years. I don't know if they've ever classified it as an overhaul, but I know that over time they have certainly had plenty of changes. Even in this most recent, not this most recent, but update 46, they had like 7 changes go along with that there, right? So you might consider them to be a class that has received a gradual overhaul, because they have just been making minor tweaks to it. And in my opinion, that's how they should be doing every class, is they should be making minor tweaks to the class over time, rather than a drastic change to the class in and of itself. I think it's safer for them to do something like that too. Because, like, if you make a few small changes to a class as an update comes out, and it's not received well, right? It's easier for you to go backwards and either meet the community halfway in the middle, or change it to something different, or revert the change. Whereas if you have spent a lot of time overhauling an entire class, granted, some classes do need that, but there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for you to adjust it based on community feedback. So I would like to think that that would be the positive of kind of making small changes through each update over time, you know. But now some classes certainly do need it. That's just a given. Like, I think that a lot of people agree that the Brawler needs a class overhaul. Even though I really like the Brawler where it's at, a lot of people dislike where it is, and is what it is, right? But same with, I think a lot of people think the same about a Warden. Oh, that's didn't mean to hit it like that. But yeah. Warden definitely needs a ton of work. I don't know how it works, man. Like, I think that Warden... I've seen some good Warden players, and they always do some great damage, right? So, it's hard for me to really give my take on it without playing Warden, you know? It's hard to really say. I will say, if you want premium items, just like maps or like random bullshit, those dwarves up there, I've killed them, done that deed a couple of times in the past like couple years. They drop more premium like items than I've ever seen, man. So love seeing a great Warden player. Not for real, I do. Hey, Roman, if you have anything for dinner tonight, what would it be? We're rocking green beans. Yeah, we'll get you a little bit closer because you've asked. Because this is what I got going on. We're rocking green beans, chicken, and rice right now. That's what I'm cooking up with right now, and that's kind of what the answer would go for. I'm gonna take a good burger every day of the week, but I am perfectly happy with some chicken and green beans. I'll tell you what. We're chipping away at this while we're eating tonight. So me, yeah. There it is. There you go, prop. Oh man. Goddamn right. Oh my goodness. Whew. That food looks awesome. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Shelby makes some good food, for sure. Schleb putting in some work. Yep, yep. I have every crafting profession but cook, so she's got that one covered for us. I'll pay $100 for the recipe. Oh man. So hard to cook chicken properly. Yeah. For sure. I say as if I know anything about cooking whatsoever. What changes would you like to see on Brawler? I'm hard to say, man. Brawler's such in a state where my opinions of Brawler kind of oppose some of the rest of the communities, I think. Like, I was kind of upset they got rid of Vulnerable, but I've learned to live with it. I will say the number one opinion I do have that I think everyone would appreciate is that Brawler needs a range taunt. Or a third taunt is the proper way to say that. Because they have a ranged single target and AoE, but they don't have a melee taunt. That might be me being selfish. I always thought that every tank needed like 3 taunts. So like the Guardian has Enrage, they have Challenge, and they have Free the Edge. A Captain has Gravest Wound, or Grave Wound, I think. Threatening Shout, and then Elendil's Roar, right? If we wanted to keep... they have gone away from needing challenges, to be fair. So this opinion might be outdated from what their design is. But I always thought that Hurl Object would be a great force taunt. And I thought that that would work out really well for them as like their third taunt. But they may not be wanting 3 taunts on tanks any longer. So with how the game currently plays, a single target taunt, a ranged single target taunt, and a AoE taunt seem to be perfectly fine with the new tanking system that they have. So yeah, I'd be pissed if someone threw a brick at me or a shoe. You know, I'd be force taunted on that person for at least 5 seconds. You know. What the hell? Roman, what? What am I supposed to do with this?
777 donated $50. Next dinner on me.
You goose. What? I appreciate it, sir. What did I do for this? What? Should have dropped that recipe. I'll have to ask. Wildcat, you're crazy. Thank you, Roman. Thank you so much, sir. We greatly appreciate that here, man. That is awesome. Also, I'm actually really happy that that alert worked because we've been changing up so many things. I was really afraid that some of these other alerts are not going to be working, so. Enjoy your evening. Hey, Roman, we appreciate you hanging out here with us, man. Glad to see you in. Where are we at with the Ds? Let's see. We are at 72 of 160. Very good. We're making our way there. Just let me know what is share her secrets. Ah, that's on her. I know nothing about cooking. She could tell me something completely off too. On purpose. just it looks like a good recipe and then she'll throw something in and she doesn't do, but to make it feel bad. Oh man. Oh goodness. That scared the crap out of me. Oh, Miley just logged on her LM. She saw me having too much fun on my LM. She said I gotta get this thing to cap. Oh my god. We do need supports. Nobody wants to be playing no supports, apparently. I can't do anything without an announcement over here. What we like to announce people when they join the chat when they're on the kid. I'm talking about everybody. I couldn't go for anybody in particular. My buddy Nerves. Yes, I heard about Nerves. He's good at video games. Yeah. I'll have to get with him and see what he knows about Yellowberg or if he has questions. We need good Yellowbergs. We are very limited on Yellowbergs. Not that it matters, because like the few Yellowbergs that we have, they're typically like very consistent with playing. But I always like to have more so we can swap people off of Yellowberg and mix people around. I think it's important that everyone plays like different roles in a raid, just so they understand like the difficulty something is, or also just the mechanics in general that that particular role is going through. Like damage is something that's kind of easy overall. Most of the roles in damage are responsible, or most of the responsibilities in a damage role are already being covered by others, right? So Roman is awesome, man. Glad to get him in here. Hey, Wildcat, I appreciate you introducing them to us, if that's the case. Roman is a very chill dude, obviously. ask him what we're eating for dinner. That's so funny. Good to see a raid from all angles. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, like Vision, you could say it now because you've tanked a little bit of boss 1 on tier 2. Like, you can easily tell, like, if you're kind of tunnel visioned in on, like, just healing things or doing damage, you don't have any idea the level of, like, kind of, I don't want to say, like, difficulty, because for some people it's more difficult than others, but you completely understand now, like, the tanking part of tanking boss 1 after you've been tanking it a couple of times on that roll, right? You can see it makes you pay attention more to what each individual like enemy is that comes into the fight. It's really fun, I think. Hagen T2 it's gonna be a yes, it is. Perks was in here not too long ago and made the great comment about tanking boss 3. And he said it's going to be a sink or swim moment for a lot of tanks. And I couldn't agree more, because like that thing, it shreds. The amount of damage I take on Brawler is destructive. And like, I think we found a better strategy for it now, to be fair. But it is still one that like every group has got to come to that conclusion, right? So there will be some tanks that are just eating through some damage for a while, I think. So alright, one more giant is all we actually need. And then we are good to go. We can bounce out of here. We probably won't catch one at the entrance. No, it's certainly important to see a raid from all angles. See, tank and healer side of the fights has helped me understand them a lot better. Yeah, I think that healing can sometimes, like, I think every angle provides its own benefit, right? Like, I think DPS is less so because it's very easy to just tunnel vision follow assist target. But I think it's also important, uh, you know, from the healing perspective, you understand what's when the damage is coming out or where it's coming from. From a tank perspective, it's all about, like, you know, managing what enemies and interrupts that you need, as far as aggro is concerned. And then supports, like, especially defensive support, right? Like, it is crowd control, it is interrupts, it is everything in between. Supports are obviously going to be something that's, like, a little bit more involved, I think, because of the fact that, you know, they have, they're kind of everything in between. Like a lore master, a good lore master support could be assisting with the heals towards the tank. It could be crowd control. It could be debuffing particular groups of mobs, not just the ones that you're on, right? Like, it's all over the place, depending on what is inside the fight. So newer side, I can tell who are follow mechanics and who is not guild or what. That is very true. You can tell who has myths and who doesn't. That is absolutely a thing. So. Oh. We go up and do Angmarum up top, up north there. So, tank side showed me where I was lacking on my rotations and where I can improve positioning and cooldown. Yeah, that is a big thing. Tanking is quite dynamic. I think you could do the same thing on. I think you could do the same thing on DPS and heals. You know, every fight, almost, be with the exception of maybe like a person or two not paying attention to the mechanics, resulting in them like needing a little bit more care. But on tank, every healer is different and every support is going to be different. If they're playing it the same, you can kind of help with it. But even the damage and abilities coming out from a boss will be dynamic enough to the point where you have to rotate through your cooldowns a little bit differently every single pull, almost. So it's just hard to kind of to gauge it, really. God damn it. I should have got a knife with this shit, man. Caves tier 3? Oh, dear lord. I don't think I want to tonight, Billy. Alright, how many of these guys do we need to kill? I thought we needed these guys, don't we? Aren't these guys a deed? Oh, wait, no, these guys are the same things that count from the dwarves, right? Is that the case? Iron Crown Slayer. Okay, no, we don't need these guys. What do we need then? We need beasts and dead. Oh, the dead are in that crypt. I need to go to that crypt and do the circuit of that. Okay. So yeah, I thought that these guys were their own thing with them being like Angmarum. Yeah, I would say that offensive support are the easiest role to play, though. Vision. Defensive supports are so much more dynamic than anything else. Offensive supports, they certainly have. You're just playing a damage, essentially, but with abilities that you need to heal or hit and call out, right? Like two arms, like banner, like these. So you have to pair those up quite well, so everyone knows like the when things are kind of coming out. I don't know what the hardest class would be to play though, of those roles. I think everyone. I think genuinely it would be the defensive support like Yellow Berg, Yellow Lore Master, Yellow Hunter. Um, but that's only because certain fights require you to do more, right? Like on Boss 1, I don't think you have much going on. Boss 2, I don't think you have much going on. Like you're just tabbing over it, debuffing some stuff from time to time. But I think that like in that Boss 3 that we were doing Friday night, I certainly think that a bad defensive support could really be shown there because like I didn't have disable up on the tank group at all the whole fight, and I got all my interrupts and I got the boss group debuffed. That was fine, but like the cluster that's on like the main tank didn't get disabled hardly at all, and that's on me. But that's simply because like I prioritize damage a lot in certain fights, and I try my best to pump as much damage from the yellow supports because it's like, yeah, you get damage out of those guys, they're killing it. But otherwise, you're looking pretty. I think Boss 3 is one of those where you kind of have to prioritize your responsibilities because if any interrupt gets off, or an FM is missed, or things aren't debuffed, it might just go south. And who cares about your Yellowberg DPS when the whole group could be dead in the next turn, right? So, mostly talking about yellow support, yeah. The lapse on defensive support can win. Yeah. For sure, for sure. Alright, how bad is this? Is this a 80, 160? This is a 120, 240. I don't know why they weren't consistent in Gundabad with their deeds. Seems kind of strange. Well, we are an hour in Vision, and I'm thinking that granted, we didn't go live to YouTube Shorts, so that's something. But I think I will leave Kick on the docket now, and I'll update that side of things, because it seems to be going smooth. I don't have any, like the chat back and forth seems to be up to date, which is the important part. Hasn't been any buffering of things. So, I did not anticipate it to go this well, if I'm going to be honest. I do need to figure out YouTube Shorts, but... The other three look good so far. Let me test them again. Yeah. I think that if I adjusted, I think we could have the kick chat up here too. Like, let me. Somehow I'm in combat. Yeah, let me. Hold on. Stay over there real quick if you don't mind. We're gonna do a small change, and I want to. I'll toggle it just to see. Go ahead and send that message again. Nope, nope, don't even need to. There you are. Interesting. I wonder if, yeah, like that's there. I wonder how all that works. I like these emotes? Yeah, yeah. I'll have to bring ours over too. Alright, I'm gonna take it off for now though. Just to make sure, because I've got filtering in on Twitch, on like hiding certain key phrases to avoid like bots coming in. Don't got that over on Kick quite yet. So I've already had to, before you showed up over on there, I had to already kick some stuff out. So I will tonight add those key phrases and words in, and hopefully we can get hopefully we can get that cooking. So let me get it back over here. There we go. Is it crazy? I thought it would be roughly the same, if I'm gonna be honest. Did a good job with it? Okay. That's good to hear. I don't expect it to be anything crazy over there, you know, to be fair, but you can change stream info and stuff. Yeah, I think that's actually really cool. Can you not do that over on Twitch? The biggest thing I like about it so far, though, is that all of the chats are in one place, which is really nice. You know, that's something that I had a third-party software, I think that Blood uses to, that can consolidate all of them together. But Meld Studio just kind of does it, which is really nice. So now I don't need to have like a ton of tabs open for something like that. But yeah. You might be able to. I don't know. I don't know how relevant that stuff is to what we do, though, to be fair. You know. This is so strange that I can run Fire Shield here, deal damage to these guys, and they not worry about it. So let's give it a bit, wait for response again. Boudreaux, are you? That's funny, actually. Hahaha, I've timed that perfect. Still slowly leveling these guys? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you have all the classes on your lifetime at that point, right? Like, tactically speaking, you could just, like, make them your own at that point. Race change, class change. Or not class change, but name change. Like, obviously those characters have, like, history and stuff. You might not want to do that, but on a lifetime account, when you just get gifted points like that, you can kind of do whatever you want with them. Berg will get changed to Berg, yeah. Yeah, if the Berg gets changed to Nucleus, it's like Hobbitberg, yeah, yeah. There's definitely not the same level of people here, right? Because like I'm looking at like recommended channels. I did see that Peanut also streams over here, but he's only got like 3K over here, right? So definitely not the same number of creators and such. Like if we look at Lord of the Rings category, I think I am like one of 3 people on here right now. So definitely probably not seeing much action to begin with over here, but I mean, not the worst thing in the world. If it's not impacting the performance of the stream enough for it to not do it, I think it's okay. So, yeah, that is a thing too, meme. Like, there is a reputation of the platform itself. Yeah. I have a feeling that the people that, like, we are only ever going to limit ourselves to MMOs, right? So I have a feeling that if you're watching an MMO from a particular platform, one which way or the other, I don't think I'm going to be attracting the same person. Maybe I'm wrong in that assumption, but you know, if we were if we were streaming alternate games, right? If we were streaming like an Arc Raiders or an Overwatch or anything really, I mean, we would probably run into something that you're talking about, right? So Yes, that is very true as well. YouTube has been a more positive kind of vibe. What are we doing? We're doing more of a test stream right now, Perks. We went live on a couple more platforms today, and we're just kind of deeding to get the lore master in a good spot. So we're just kind of vibing out while we do some deeds with the accelerated on, but it was more of a test stream tonight to see if the performance of the stream would drop when we go live on a couple other platforms and see how that would pan out. So Robley is here like a goose. I've never been stream sniped in such an obscure place before, I'm gonna be honest. Oh my gosh. I was kind of like, it was a little bit scary there. That's funny. Now, what are you up to tonight, Perks? If anything. I think I've been at it a few times already. Let me take a look. Not much going on, but there was a few ads for caves. Got it. Our bracers got damaged. Probably actually logging into the game is crazy. That is awesome, though. First time in like 5 months? Yeah, that's nuts. Turn it into a vortex here pretty soon. Vortex logged in, got like at least as many. I don't know about any other characters. Leveled to 160 and then logged out before instances dropped. I hadn't been back, so. Wish I did more Gundabad while leveling. Place is really cool. I would recommend going back to it, meme. So there's a frame that's really cool. If you wanted to like set a nice cosmetic goal for yourself, there's a nice like frame that has like, we call it the Skittles frame because we make fun of it, but it looks really cool. Has different like ruby, emerald, sapphire, like gemstones around in the circle. And you get it by completing all of the landscape deeds in Gundabad. So if all the slayers here, all of the questing, all of the locations, you do all of them, and then in each area you get like a quest, and you do the quest, and it unlocks and gives you like, you know, the frame at the end, which is really cool. So Steep Set does look legit. I do like the look of Gundabad overall. I think the only section that I wish they would have taken out of the game entirely was Deep Scrave, that has like the elevator in the middle of it. That one was never a good one. So yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet frame. I like the frame. I have it on my Guardian. I don't know if I'm going for it on this character, but I don't mind the deeding in Gundabad, so I think it does look pretty cool. It's always a nice one. Use the River Hobbit frame on everything because it looks sweet. Yeah, absolutely. There's some pretty good frames. The ones that I've never done, I've never gone to one of the legendary servers and leveled up a character to get those like cool looking frames. I don't even know if those still like are accessible. But Those look pretty badass. Rightfully so, right? Like your VIP kind of going through a nice time, so it's the default frame. Come on, Perks. If I had the Shara frame on everybody, I would just use that, but I only have it on the Berg. Or the Brawler, rather. I think the Shara frame goes hard, personally. And I think my skin has the Fellow Vitals frame set to default too. Yeah, I gotcha. I don't know which one. I use like the transparent one from the skin pack or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. But it sets them to, like, Robley's running the Shara frame right now. Yeah. Instead of that monstrosity, how could you? Shara. I guess I have a little bit more of an attachment to Shara because I was always the boss at tank for literally 2 years straight. So I couldn't necessarily get away from her. Oh man. Shara my first raid? Yeah, for sure. My first raid frames weren't a thing, so couldn't really get any of that, but my condolences. It wasn't terrible. However, last boss literally could have been cut in half on every single attempt. So there were some things I would have drastically changed that are subtle things, you know, in my opinion. Like every tier below 4, it was almost like some groups, of course, could do big DPS, but most groups had to do all 6 boats. I think that was stupid. I think that was a silly decision. And until you got to tier 5, it really felt like a good fight in tier 5. I wish they would have brought that down a little bit sooner, because the 6 boats in tier 4, and tier 3 is just a pain, man. Going 20 minutes, 18 minutes of just like nothing but doing the same thing over and over again, only to wipe at the hard phase is like, oh my god, dude. That happened way too frequently. So, Robbie, are you coming back to Warden Tank for us, good sir? Do you need a power level? I can put together a team. Hand pending, yes. I'm excited then. Do you think it's better than Brawler right now, their perks? Where do you think it sits? You say the word and I'm leveling a Warden. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's not. You're probably not wrong. Is the unfortunate part. We're just too set on gut punch nowadays. I think everything is better. I read that. My hand is simply just not healing. That's true. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I know a hand injury for me would just be tragic. So, strangely enough, like that's just like, yeah, it's so frustrating. Hand injury. It's so simple. Something so minor, right? And yet it's like such a critical point. Alright, we got this advance done. Let's get out of here. I think we need to go... I forget where the good spot to kill beasts is. I think it's up the hill, but I could be wrong. How are the new instances, though? Are they in a better... I like the new instances. Some people can disagree, agree. I think that Hold could have been better. They didn't add any new mechanics, really. Yeah. Yeah, I think that the new stuff is really good. I wish Hold had a little bit more dynamic stuff in Tier 3, because there's not much of a change in the tiers in Hold specifically. But Palace is really good, and I really like Caves, even though Caves is in the same boat, it doesn't really change too much. I still think that it is in still a really good spot. I enjoy it quite a lot. You know, I enjoyed the hell out of Fane, but I still think I enjoy Caves a little bit more than Fane. Partially because in Fane, the default decision on tanking for boss 2 was just to run in circles, and any boss that you have to that anyone comes to the conclusion that it is better to kite in circles versus sitting there and finding a solution to tanking the damage is a pain. Yes, yeah, I loved rolling for Fane drops. We did probably at my I stopped counting after 250 tier 3s, but I didn't within that time. That's not even counting the tier 2s I ran either. I never did get a Carapace drop. So, yeah, I never did get a Carapace drop the whole time. I had to barter for 7 Carapace drops for each of my characters. So, we we were dying. Fane was not happy to not a pleasant experience. As far as loot is concerned, that is. Where am I supposed to be? I think it's a little bit higher. I could be wrong. Bet you it's around here. Loot this is a real stinker, this cluster. I feel like loot is a little bit easier than 150 perks, unless I'm mistaken. Unless there's like a particular item you're referencing. It certainly is a little bit easier, but also like, yeah, no chase items like the Zircon or, you know, I don't necessarily hate. I wish that I necessarily didn't hate the chase items, but I did hate what am I trying to say? I like there being something to go back towards, and I think they've captured that with there being a necklace essence from the barter item and a cloak essence from the barter item. I think that seems to be doing quite well, because as soon as I kind of got my necklace, went into the raid and got a cloak, now I have to go back in and get a necklace or a cloak essence that's like towards tanking. So I liked that kind of back and forth a little bit. I think you do need chase items personally, though. You know, I think that personally, I think it should be in the same format that they did with the Ikrabani Valley stuff, though, where is like if you run something an absurd amount of times, such as myself, you eventually have enough barter tokens to purchase the chase item. Like if I run caves 100 times and I don't get the item that I'm looking for, I should be at least getting a cursed gold coin every so often, so I can then proceed to barter for that item. So I agree with that the essences do feel kind of lazy, though. So like 130 we had trigger essences, 140 we had class essences, 150 we had those, and 160 we had the same. Yeah, it is kind of sad that we're doing a little bit of copy paste, just like that, right? Because one thing that has been a little bit of a disappointment when it comes to LOTRO in recent years is that, and I don't hate them for this, it's just a little bit disappointing from what it was, right? You know, it used to be that every expansion in the past had like something unique that it brought to the game. Now, granted, many of these systems have since been left behind, but like Moria brought legendary items, Mirkwood kind of brought skirmishes. Isengard tried to do like the instance finder. It didn't really work, but they tried to do it. Of course, Eastern Rohan brought mounted combat. Western Rohan brought big battles. Now in current day, we don't have any of these new systems. We instead have kind of just the next step in the story, right? They've kind of got their routine down of we need this many instances, we need to pump out a raid, we need to, I mean, the closest thing that we had to a new system was Delvings, right? So like we don't really get anything fancier now. So for them to do a copy paste of something like that shows a little bit of either it was rushed or a lack of creativity. I don't know what goes on there, but something happened to result in them needing to do that, right? So, which kind of sucks, to be fair. It is what it is, but it kind of does suck. Like, I don't mind if that's what they want to do, if that's kind of what they've claimed that they want to do, you know? But it is a little bit upsetting at times. Is this the best place to do this, dude? Let me look. Beasts in Carbroneck. I feel like this is the best place to do this, dude, but yeah, I mean, this is the... Okay, there's a different location for Rams as well, but ultimately all the Rams here are what count, so... I don't mind getting the quest packs, though. Like, I don't mind the story continuing, even if this is the game that lasts, like, until it keeps going, right? Like I said, each time that they introduced a system in those previous expansions, in current day, those systems don't really matter anymore. So I would rather them, if they create a system, I'd like it that they continue it like they're doing with Delvings, to be fair. Even though Delvings are very copy-paste, you know. I would like to see some innovation, but I would also appreciate it if they wouldn't leave some of those systems behind, you know? Yeah. Even if it's, dude, and this might be a very bad take. This might be a very bad take. I'll preface this ahead of time. But even if it's like returning to some of those systems to revamp them because we can't think of a new system to incorporate, I don't necessarily hate that idea either. That's probably a terrible take, but it would be something different, you know? That's kind of where I'm kind of sitting at. Like, it's something different to do would be nice. Like, I'm gonna be honest, they tried to do something with luck stones and crafting with the Umbar expansion, and then literally after one update they dropped it. You know what I mean? That was kind of like, I'm ready to throw my weight behind a new idea, even if it's as silly as crafting. I hate crafting, but I'll do it. I'll get behind it. You know, I'll participate. But man, they didn't even give it one update. You know, like, the hell. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm on board with them reworking the systems we interact with. Like, yeah, I'm hoping that they rework LIs. I especially hope they rework virtues at some point. I would love to see some sort of vaulting system with or armory system like from Final Fantasy 14 with virtues. Like, if I've got my Valor at cap on like 6 characters, I should be getting some sort of bonus the next time I need to level Valor or something, you know, or I need to get some sort of incoming virtue experience because I have so much virtue on some other characters, right? Like, something to help boost this process up that we're doing right now, you know? Like, that's something that, like, kind of is, of all the things, virtue in this game is the biggest grind. It's hard for them to find, I can imagine it's hard for them to find motivation to rework it, because that's where their money comes from with Valors, right? But it is a little bit taxing as like a brand new player, right? Comes in and needs to, and soon discovers that, oh my god, I have so much virtue to get. Like, that is a little bit rough. So certainly is something that I wish they would address, though. I'm gonna open up Grand Stair while we sit here and wait, so I can go do that deed real fast. The respawn on these goats is kind of slow.
In elder days, this place once served as a grand portal to many levels and halls within Moria. But since the ruin of Moria, it has
Perks
become the
are
home of many orc tribes.
I mean, tier three's
Months
allegedly coming out this week. Are you
he rules
thinking
the orcs of
that it's gonna be a breeze, or how are you? What are you
Xanthus
thinking people are gonna
his
get
minion
hung up on?
Rhaegar.
I feel like I think Crab might get hung up on boss 3. I'm not sure though. I feel like we're starting to get a nice tanking strat to keep the tanks alive now. Last time we did it, I did it with DPS allies, so it seemed easy then. But yeah, because they didn't put it on BR, did they? So we have like zero clue of how balanced or imbalanced this is going to be. So that's true, right? Are they doing a rebalance of the raid this week too with tier 3? You think, or is it just kind of they released tier 3 and it is what it is? No clue. No. I haven't talked with Earl in like a week or two to get my inside scoop, but judging from the tier 3 beta they did, well, they did a beta for it. I gotcha. I just don't want it to be another temple, man. That's my thing. Probably over here resetting my boss. At every boss, there was a wall, so no idea how it will be live. Gotcha, gotcha. Boss one, depending on what they change, be an RIG boss. But yeah, that is something that I'm kind of not enjoying as I'm taking some groups through on tier 2 lately. The strategy has become like just do damage to the boss, you know? Because there is always that possibility that you just don't get plump egg sacks. And because that possibility exists, you know? Just stacking incoming healing to it. I think it's the correct strategy for boss 2, or for tier 2. But it feels kind of shitty because you can very clearly tell there was like an intended purpose to how these egg sacks were supposed to be spawning and stuff. And now it's just like we do damage to boss and that is the boss. Like it's kind of you know. We did just do all of that, so that's good. Okay, that completes current star for me. Boss 3, I think, could be impossible depending on the tuning. That's my biggest fear right now, is we do everything that we can, and then boss 3, like, the damage, the things are just way too tuned and it hurts, right? Boss 4 was and will be impossible if they didn't change things, yeah. So anything, is it just like the health threshold that they needed to make? Or was it some new ability in tier 3? Because like from where it sits right now, the boss seems pretty okay. But if it's like you have to have a DPS, the new abilities, okay, gotcha. I like that there's new abilities, but yeah, it'd be a little bit spooky. So I would rather there be new abilities than them just pumping numbers, you know? But my hope is that it's all balanced. We might just open up an instance while we wait for respawns every time on this guy. Like, what else do I have? I have goblins and forges. Orcs and forges needs to get done. That's certainly something. Filgachon skirmishers. Corpse Eaters? Grim Reaper? I think I need to do right side Scoomfill. I think that's where Grim Reaper is. Let's do that. Right side Scoomfill. I need to do those as well. I can invite you to the group if you want to jump in real quick.
The orcs have disposed of their
Or if you're on
dead
whips.
in the great chasm they call Scoomfield.
Can you just jump in here real fast? I'm not like doing anything crazy. I'm not like on these on repeat. I'm kind of like doing it in between while waiting on the respawns of the beastie guys here.
From the vile breadbeak to the scavenging carrion.
Oh, I got the helm. That's nice. I feel like I really need to learn how to play Red LM, if I'm gonna be honest. Dude, this guy, Burrow, what a goose. That's Leaders of the Hive, right there. That's because I did left side, I think. And this is Grim Reaper, right? Yeah, cool.
You're too strong. You die. You not take food. You hurt food.
Oh my gosh. I forgot how big the knockback is there. What do we get from homie? The Grim Reaper himself. Okay. Oh. Alright, that's another deed done. That puts my wisdom... Where's our wisdom set at now? Let me leave while we're double checking on that. Wisdom is at 72 now. We're making a little bit of progress here and there. Robley, you know, I of course want your hand to heal, 100%. But I'm just saying, how badass would it be if you learned to play with like one hand plus foot pedals or some bullshit, right? Like start hooking some weird shit up. That would be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Ideally, hand heals perfectly fine, and that is again something I pray for every day. But one-handed might be possible. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's. It depends on, I guess, the equipment is really what it all depends on, right? I did not say that at all. You can retract that statement, Vision. I am saying fuck waiting is what I'm saying. Because I miss my Robley is what I'm saying. I said I don't want to wait for his hand to heal. I want his hand to heal, but I don't want to wait, you know? Hand be damned. Oh, all the stupid stuff I've had to do. That it would be stupid, absolutely. Like there'd be a bunch of stupid stuff to get it all hooked up and working. So this one's a pain, man. The respawn doesn't happen fast enough for these guys. What else do I need? I'm thinking about something quick here. Like, don't we have I did all of those. That sucks that I did all that already. 2-hour mark. Got a few notes actually. Yeah, we're gonna probably wrap up this deed here and probably hanging out. I didn't want to go for too long tonight. I mean, recap of my own, everything seems to be looking fine for the most part, and I just got to figure out how to hook up shorts. And I was streaming, or at least projecting that stream towards a location at the start of stream, and it was doing fine. I just got to figure out how I can put that on the right IP or URL, I think. Because I think it got streamed twice towards the same YouTube stream, and that's what ended up causing some problems. I don't know, we'll have to see. Have to get everything hooked up though, but I mean, otherwise everything seems to be doing just fine. For the most part. So that's kind of neat. Anyone say anything when you rejoined, Robbie? Let me see. Or did you rejoin at all? Did it say you rejoined? It did join now? I guess it didn't announce you. Let me throw you the roles. I'm just gonna throw you everything. There we go. I threw you everything I could. I don't think I can give crab prints because I guess I can't assign the same role to that I am. But I'd throw you crab prints if I could. I think Az is the one that has dictatorship over that. I don't know. That should unlock all the other like channels that were hidden previously, though. It would be funny if you could. It would be really funny, yeah. You did? Okay, cool. Gotcha. Yeah, that should do it. I don't know if anybody cared, but I mean, fuck off if they had an opinion on it. You know what I mean? I don't do any work for Krav anyway, and the one time I make an executive decision, if they got problems with it, I'll throw some brawler hands. What else I got going on for instances here? The Corsairs of Umbar stuff is still cooking. The thing we had running earlier, what was that? The crab trials or something, man? They had me doing crab oh gosh. proto evals, I think is what they called it. I don't do that anymore. Uh, I think as and Oz have both been the ones to reach out to people and get new people. I think they've done a great job with that too. So yeah, I don't know. I've not done that for many months now. It'll be coming up on 8-9 months since I did something like that. It was a very tedious process too, if I'm gonna be quite honest. And unfortunately, the people that really wanted that to be a thing no longer play the game to begin with. So it almost felt like a little bit of waste of time. I think it was a good time spent, kind of, evaluating people. But it is a thing where it's really hard to evaluate someone's build when that particular build will immediately become not as optimized as you would like it to be in the next 6 months, typically, right? Because there will be new gear, there will be class changes, there will be lots of stuff can change, So it's the process that it took for me to get a hold of people that played the class, ask those people, and myself included, to look over the builds and everything, was so tedious, right, that it was just not worth it. Not when we had the original people that wanted that to continue. It was just a weird thing, if I'm going to be honest. I think it's better to just have them try out and in an actual raid and just assess people from there, right? At most, ask them to stream in Discord so people can see their particular decision-making, rotation, things like that. But overall, I think that's not nearly the level of stuff. So, yeah, I liked running the instances with people. Don't get me wrong. When they went through the whole process, and then I asked green light, red light kind of situation. When we gave green lights and we wanted to get people into DS tier 3, I think it was a fun time getting people into the community, and from that point into the rest of the events. Thought it was awesome. But the process leading up to that was very tedious, and probably a little bit to my fault. Because the reason that I wanted to get involved with that was not because of because it was for the sake of growing the guild, the kinship a little bit more, because I Barney, Baser, and Az, they had their own setup going of how they wanted that handled, but it was never official. It was never formal like I kind of wanted it to be. So you'd have some people apply, and just based off of vibes, they would say no, thank you. Right? We don't need that. And so I was kind of the opinion that even if we decline somebody, I truly want them to have a strong takeaway from whatever this is. So I want to break down the build. I want to tell them what could be better optimized, what they need to do better about their rotation. And even though we are declining that person, that it is something that we could reconsider in the future. I wanted to really expand on that whole process that they thought they had. And that's probably my fault, to be fair. Because it's to make it as tedious as it was, because I wanted there to be more coming out of that, even if it was a declining that person. I did want them to learn from that and kind of explain why they were being declined, rather than just it ain't gonna work out, because that's kind of shitty in a sense. So it was more of I wanted to provide that service to people that were applying. So, but we obviously don't do that anymore. So there has to be a point of doing anything. Has to be a point to do anything with feedback. So yeah, that was the thing. Is it was always feedback. I wanted to provide some level of feedback, and most of the feedback didn't even come from me. I reviewed Yellowberg and some tanks, because that's where I'm the most comfortable at. But yeah, some of the feedback that was coming from different people even was like very minimal, and I had to expand on that a little bit more too. And so when someone would apply, regardless of if they got accepted or denied, they would get like a 3 paragraph like response of feedback that I tried my best to help with. So I think it would have been impossible to do how you wanted the framework you would give it. I think so too. I I think we did a good job for what it was worth, and I think the people that are in the community now are really great. Um, Sometimes they were even better than and shouldn't have been put through that process to begin with. Uh, but I think overall it was still a really solid experience. I mean, I always want to do right by the person that I'm interacting with, regardless of what I'm interacting with them for. And just telling somebody no felt lazy, you know? So that was a thing I did not want to happen, is to look at that and be lazy. So plus a lot of feedback was slow to be given. Well, it was too many channels. So not only, like, let's say that I had to get a hold of like champion. I don't play champion, so I need our champion player to provide feedback. It then takes time out of their day to review what has been submitted, give their feedback, post the feedback. I then have to go in, grab that feedback, and then reformat it, because sometimes it's not in a legible, like, readable format, and then produce it to that one person. And then we ask people to submit as few 1 to 3 classes. So then I'd have to do that for 3 classes in most cases, because people are like, yeah, I want to submit as much as possible. And yeah, then I had to do that for 3 classes. It just took a lot of time, and that's one person. And especially when we announced that we were doing that, there was a lot of people, so there was a backlog and stuff. So nowadays, I mean, strangely enough, I don't consider myself to be as this Lord of the Rings content creator, but I have met many people in recent months that have told me they've watched my videos on YouTube of some build videos, and nowadays it is easier to get communication to people on a broader scale by just making a build video of that class. Um, and granted, I'm not like the best at many of the classes I play, but from a support perspective, I don't think you have to be. I think you just have to be doing the responsibilities you're given. So I've just run into people lately that have been like, they say they found, part of it is that there isn't a whole lot of YouTube content for Lord of the Rings Online, so my content just appears, I think. And so, like, people have requested builds. I don't think I'll ever feel comfortable doing a pure DPS red guide yet, until it's like a, probably red brawler would be the first one I'd even consider, because I'm not a DPS player. So I like to play supports, I like to play healers, primarily tanks, you know. And those build videos are actually really easy to make, in my opinion, because you're just going over the responsibilities of the class. You're not really going over like the rotation. You're just kind of going over what you need to be doing, and more of a priority list than anything else. So that helps. That makes me feel better. You know, I can't be too far off when you're just giving priority lists. Oh boy. What's going on? Chat, is everybody still with me? My skills have kind of locked up here. Yep, okay, well. We might have an SSG problem here then. I'm... huh? Maybe if I swap Swap this around maybe? Let's see. Oh boy, chat. We've done it now. Lag was bad in 2 caves earlier. Was it 0? Damn. Let me let's try just logging out real quick. Let's see if that does anything. Let's see, just logging in and out real fast. That wasn't a log out. It was a crash. So oh man. Let me get back in here real quick. What a legend. Hey man, it is what it is. I wonder if we'll be in red or blue when we come back. Oh. Alright, let me try to get back over here. I'm hoping that we're good. We don't have too many more to kill either. This is a very tedious deed, unfortunately. Once we get done with this, though, this map is kind of done for Slayers, and we're kind of good to move about. Alright, we are still in red. So we got that going on. Can we kill things? We can. Alright, good. We're back in shape. We're back in shape. What, 3 more? Yeah. We could probably head down the hill and get it done. There it is. Up to 74 now. Yeah, we got what? 2k there, 2k there? Yep, very good, very good. 15 points. We are getting some points today, man. I tell you. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. 331 fizz. 321 tack. Is that buffed or unbuffed? What are you thinking? Where are you at there, man? You got food, you got scrolls. What you got going on with all that? Just with speed. Okay, okay. So you've got scrolls are going to give you another 7,500, right? And then your might food maybe a little bit more. So you're probably pretty solid if you're like if you've got food and scrolls for tier 2s. So that'll keep your mids up above the 330 cap, right? Obviously you want to go higher, but because I think do you have your let me see here. Let me look at you. I'm looking at you. Hold on. Don't move. I'm inspecting. Yeah, so you'll need your you're gonna need your necklace from the hunter camp stuff, right? Rings. There's some good quest rings to get. The crafted ones are fine, but I think the quest ones are currently the best. There's one in that is easily accessible. I'll say it under that. There's I try to do hunter camp whenever I can, but less people are doing it. Yeah. The other thing to consider too is if you ever see like the roving threat weekly guys, there'll be some groups that do that. That'll be it. Brilliant Elvish Ring. That would be a good one to use over. Like I know you're lower on tactical mitt, but I think it might be beneficial to use that one. I think. Because you can upgrade that to 570 through a raid piece. So if not now, whenever you get it upgraded to 570, that would be good. There's also another one that's good in the last map, the Memorial Ring. That one is good to pick up as well. So those are the two that I typically run on a lot of my tanks. With the exception of like, I think there's one in hold. There's a ring in hold that's like got tack mitigation, might, and income healing, which is good. Other than that, though, like you said, you know, picking up your final pieces of your armor set and then swapping your leggings to the adventurers, which you already have done, so you're fine there. I think we got your we got your banner all cooked up, right? Cave bracelets are the biggest thing too. Yeah, there's heavy amethyst and gold bracelets that drop from any tier of caves meme. Doing caves like every day to make sure you hit that loot table or when you can, that's where you need them. That's like those things are massive when it comes to mitigations. Do you have any on your person? Oh, you're in DPS. No, this is the ring actually that I was talking about though. This is the caves ring, or the hold ring rather. That's really good. So the finesse bracers from Palace. I don't get anything in Palace, man. What set of armor is that, Perks? Is that just the heavy armor set? What bracers are you talking about? I can't get anything to drop in Palace ever. I still don't even have my agility cuffs for my Berg. I haven't even seen one drop. Find the name. Got it. You got it. Oh. Just like nothing like walking into a place and getting virtue for it. The bracelets are the biggest thing, though. I mean, if I had to tell you anything, you know, outside of doing those quests for the couple of rings, right? The doing caves every day is the way to go. Yeah, I think for now, swap over to keep your craft stuff on, just so you can get to 330 when you get debuffed, right? But ideally, you want to. Yes, the Slender Topaz wristlet. That's the one with lots of finesse, yeah? I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen that one drop at least. Jewelry has been tough in Palace. I don't get anything. The only jewelry piece I see drop in Palace is that Topaz wristlet that Perks is talking about. I have yet to see a cuff, and I've only very rarely seen that like delicate diamond ring that has like finesse and stuff on it. I don't have any of those, because whenever I run Palace, I just only if something does drop for jewelry, it's always the Topaz wristlet. So a little bit frustrating, but it's fortunate to get my 2 the first day of 2-2. Dude, yeah, I envy that, man. I can get damn tanking stuff all day. But when it comes to my Berg, she is not getting any of the jewelry right now. So I'm going to be buying pieces for her, the raid pieces for her, just to make sure I'm caught up and can kind of catch up that way. But now I can't get the earrings. I haven't gotten the earrings for the raid either. I've got the pocket from the new raid, from the new pocket from the raid, but I can't get the earrings yet. So I'm not too worried about it, though. I will say that like the one thing I'm happy with where the raid sits at tier 1 and 2 personally. Tier 3 might be a catastrophe. But I will say for tier 1 and 2 of the raid right now, I think that it's in a really good spot. And I'm content with that for the next few months, right? Only one 568 bracelet with agility mastery. Yeah, that bracelet, Zero, is the one I have not been able to find that at all. I know that it drops from Palace, and I know it's there. I've seen people with it. But it does not drop in my bags. That's for damn sure. I'll tell you that much. Get back on the road here, maybe? I can't remember. Deep Scrape is the one place I really do hate, if I'm going to be honest. And Gundabad. New Sexman will be where all the loot is, trust. Do you know when that's coming out? I think it was like May or June, right? I'm surprised they have something coming so soon, rather. I feel like they're pumping that shit out. I'm curious to know what the incentive will be for Ill Omens this year, because I know that they moved Ill Omens down to like the middle of the summer. So, like, that is an interesting thing. I know it was the cloak for the first year of 150, but like, I don't know if I personally hate the what is it that they got for Ill Omens? It wasn't it's like the consumable things. I can't remember what they're called. They're not consumable. They're like on cooldown things. Portents. Ill Omens mentioned. Hey man, I hate Ill Omens just as much as the next guy, but if they put like decent rewards in it, I do it. You know. So yeah, the portents I'm not a fan of though. I will say that the portents, unless they adjust the portents to reset on boss wipe, like they have done with a lot of things, I would be more enthused about the portents. Not a huge fan of it, but if they're gonna bring back portents, I would request that they do something like that, where they have them reset on they reset on boss wipe, because that's the big thing that I really hated about portents is like you use a portent, it's at a 15-minute cooldown. And then you wipe, and then you don't have that portent for like the next 4 pulls, right? Like, this is a worthless setup for sure. I am looking forward to the new 6-man though. I don't know what that'll end up being, but it'll be interesting stuff. I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to that too, because I know there's many of people that are just not in spaces that are clearing tier 2 or don't have the capability to do it. And so like tier 1 is like tier 1 or tier 2 will be accessible eventually at the end of the year, but like right now they're kind of stuck doing just tier 1s. And they are definitely gonna, you know, kind of run out of that content to run on a daily basis, but especially considering Hunter Camp is not nearly as active as it used to be. Alright, chat. I think what we're going to end up doing is probably putting her down here. I wanted to do like about a 2.5 hour stream here. Trying to test out a couple of things. Just going to do a test stream here. So, off to bed, Virtue Grind is real. Good luck. Hey, Zero, don't worry. We're not too far behind you, man. So I appreciate you hanging out with us there. And appreciate everybody else for chilling with us this evening. We will probably, if I had to take a guess, we probably won't be back on until Thursday. So we will be rocking out, doing kind of more deeds off stream and stuff, you know. But we will be back on Thursday with our probably progression team of tier 3. So that'll be an interesting time. Hopefully we don't punch a monitor or anything. But yeah, so appreciate everybody for big chilling with us this evening. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in the next stream on Thursday. See you guys.